Good evening. Welcome to Pat's Card Corner and Take Two Tuesday. Got a couple fun cards that we're going to make tonight. And I don't know, I hope you like them. So, whoops, got to turn my sound down over here. Okay, so I am using for my stamps tonight, or for most of my stuff, I'm using a lot of the products that are part of the Ornate Garden suite. Some of these are retiring, and they're on the retiring list, and you can get them at a great price. So the stamps I'm using are the Ornate Style stamp set. This one is retiring. And I'm also using the Ornate Thanks from my sentiment, because you can see one has mostly images, the other has sentiments. And this one is carrying over into the new catalog that comes out on May 4th. This one, however, Ornate Style, is retiring on May 3rd. So anyway, I'm going to use those. And then the paper that I'm using for the cards, the designer series paper, is from that suite of papers called Ornate Garden. And I'm going to show them to you real quick. I have all kinds of, I'm not sure if I have every one of them now because I've obviously used a lot of them, but you can see there's lots of pretty flowers on this side. If you like daisies, there's a bunch with daisies. There's a couple other ones. And then the back side, some of them have these really pretty, it's gold. I'm not sure if you can see or not. They're shiny. So is that one. Real pretty designs on the back also. And this is this is one of the other papers that's in there. And so is this. But the reason I'm showing you this paper is because this paper set is retiring, and it is on the last chance list, and you can get an entire pack, 12 sheets, double-sided, of this paper for $6. So it's normally $11.50. It's only $6, so you're saving almost 50%. So it's a great deal if you like this paper. So I'm just going to move that back out of the way. But I just wanted to tell you that. And also, we also going to need some ribbon, and the ribbon that goes with this paper, you actually get two colors of ribbon, and I'm going to tell you this too because this ribbon is on sale too. So you get two colors. This is Old Olive, and this is Terracotta Tile. So this ribbon is also retiring. It's on the last chance list, and this ribbon is just $2.80. So you can get a pack of paper and matching ribbon for $8.80. And if you think about it, this is a great, how many cards you can make out of that. It's a good deal. So the paper that we're using today, one sheet, one 12 by 12 sheet will make actually two cards. We've cut it up. But so if you kind of do the math, and I'm kind of a math person too, so if you do the math, you can make 24 cards for 36 cents. You can't even go to the Dollar Tree and buy a card for 36 cents. So great deal. So check out the last chance retiring list and see if there's other products you like. But if you like this paper and that ribbon, you might want to think about heading over there and making a purchase. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to tell you the supplies that you need. We're actually making two cards, so we're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper, and these pieces are both 6 by 9 1/4. We are going to use both sides, but we don't have to. So if you just like the one side but you don't like the other side of your card, that's fine. But they are 6 by 9 1/4, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring for those. You will also need 2 pieces of coordinating cardstock. This is Mossy Meadow, and these pieces are 4 by 5 1/4. So you're going to need 2 of those. you're going to need 2 pieces, actually one for each, you're going to need one for each card, but you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white cardstock, and these are 3 3/4 by 5. You will need 2 more pieces of basic white, and these are 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. You need to cut 2. You'll need 1 piece of the same paper that you used before, and that piece is, I'm going to flip it over, is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. And you're going to need 1 piece of the same color cardstock that you used before, and this piece is 3 1/2 by 9 1/2. And then you're going to need 2 excuse me, 2 sentiment tags. So I've used circles. This is a 2 1/4 inch circle. That punch is also on the retiring list, and this is from the Layering Circles dies. This is a scallop circle, which is just a little bit bigger. So something around that size. You can do squares, you can do ovals, you can do rectangles. And you'll see this is just to put the sentiment on, so depending on the size of your sentiment would depend on what kind of sentiment tag that you want to use. So that's what I'm using. So this is these supplies that you see right here, and I'm going to leave it here just for a second so that you can, if you want to take a picture of the measurements, I will have the measurements on my blog tomorrow. But this is going to make 2 cards. One of them is an easy peasy card, and the other one we just kind of stepped it up just a little to do something just a little bit different with it. So I hope that I'm just going to, so for the first card we are going to need 1 of these pieces. I'm going to move my stuff over, so that one's going to go away. We're going to need 1 piece of this 4 1/4 by 5. We don't need this one, that's for the other card. We're going to need 1 of these. This is 3 3/4 by 5. These are for the other card, and actually these are for this card. That's for the other. So for the first card, these are the only things that we're going to need. Are these 4 pieces. We are going to do a little bit of scoring and cutting of this piece right here, and we're going to do that first thing. So let me move these out of the way, and I'm going to get my trimmer out. And hopefully I won't do what I did the other day when I was doing this with some friends, and I accidentally scored too hard and cut my paper. So because this is designer series paper and not cardstock, when you're scoring, you don't need to press really hard. If you press too hard, then your paper might tear, because this is obviously not, this is pretty nice weight paper, but it is not as thick as cardstock. So when you're scoring this paper, you don't want to do it press too hard, or you're going to tear your paper, and then when it folds, it's just going to have a nice little tear in it, which would not be good. So this piece is 9 1/4 by 6, and we're going to, this is the 9-inch side, and I'm going to have to scoot my arm out here a little bit. I'm going to move this stuff over here. All right. Because we are going to need to go a little bit farther. So the first one we're going to score it at is 2 3/4 inches. I moved my cutting blade out of the way. I accidentally cut my paper the other day when I didn't mean to. So just don't press very hard when you're scoring. So 2 3/4. And then we're going to score it next at 7 inches. I'm going to move it over. 7 inches. Do a little bit of scoring, and then we're going to turn it clockwise 90 degrees, and we're going to score it at 5/8 of an inch. So that's a 1/2 inch plus 2 more little hash marks, so 5/8 of an inch, and we're going to score that, and then we're done. That's it. Now we can put this away. And now you're going to need to get your bone folder out, because we're going to be doing a little bit of creasing of our paper. And you're going to need to get your scissors. your paper snips because we're going to be cutting. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to flip it over and I'm going to fold up on the bottom, and I'm just going to give it a really nice crease, and then I'm going to fold in on our other score lines. You're going to fold in on both sides. You're just going to crease it really good, and you're going to have a piece like this. So this is going to be the outside, the other part's going to be the inside, and we're going to do a little bit of cutting along the bottom. So this is it's hard to see. Might turn it this way so you can maybe see a little bit better. So you're going to cut on the score line. You're just going to cut up on the vertical score line only until you get to where it folds. So we're just going to cut up right there, and then you're going to cut that little piece off so you can see it folds there. So I'm going to cut off, and you're actually going to cut it. I'm going to see if I can hold this up a little bit. You can see that there's like a little ridge. You're going to cut it just above where the fold line is, so just a teeny bit above, so like just above where the little ridge is where you folded it or where you've scored it. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to cut up right on the score line. My hand was shaking there. And then you're going to cut it on here right above. Let's see if I can hold it up. I don't know if you can see the ridge or not. And I'm going to cough again. Sorry. Excuse me. You're going to cut up right above where the fold line is. And you'll see why in a minute, because we're going to actually fold this up. Let's get that off there. Okay, and then on this part right here, we're just going to take a little pie piece and just cut. And you kind of want the other side, you want to take about the same amount off of both sides, so you want it to kind of match. And now your piece looks like this. I'm gonna move that stuff out of the way. You can kind of see it better maybe if I lay it down. So this is the right side. And this is the other side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some tear and tape, or if you don't have tear and tape, you can use glue. We're going to fold one side in and the other side over, and we're going to put some glue or tear and tape right along the left edge, and then we're going to fold it over to meet the other part. So I'm using tear and tape just because it's just less messy, and sometimes it's just fun to use something a little different. I'm just going to put that on, rub it down a little bit. I'm just going to peel that off. There we go. We're just going to fold that in. We're going to fold that over and just press it down. This piece is going to fold up. And the reason I had you cut just a little bit less off, so when you fold this up, it's not exactly meeting there, and you don't have it like a little trouble. If you didn't fold it up enough, you could trim it a little. This piece is going to fold up. I'm also going to put some tear and tape on that. And as you can see, we're making kind of like a little pocket. So these are actually, what we're making tonight are actually called pocket cards. So I'm just going to peel that off, and we're going to fold it up. And this is going to be the front. So because we are making a pocket, we do want to cut out a little bit of a, like, I'm going to call it a finger hold. I'm not sure what you would call it. I am going to use a 1-inch punch to do that. And we're just going to put it part way in and then punch out. If you don't have a punch, you can use anything that's a circle. Have a little circle like cap. You can place it on there, trace around it with a pencil, and then just use your paper snips to cut it out. That's the easy way to do it. If you don't have any kind of, you can use a bigger size punch if you'd like, but you kind of want to get it right in the middle. And now we have like a little finger hold. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside just for a minute, and we're going to get out these two pieces right here. So I am going to do a little bit of stamping on this. This is going to be kind of like the inside of the card. So these are going to be layered together like that, and it's going to actually just slide right in. So this is where you would put like your greeting. If this was a regular folded type card, this is where you'd put your greeting. So I am making thank you cards, obviously, since my stamp set is thank you. So I'm going to put a little greeting on the inside and also a little flower from, oops, lost my thing here. I'm also going to stamp this little flower because it kind of matches the flowers on my paper. So I'm going to stamp that in, what am I stamping it in? I'm stamping it in Old Olive ink. I lost my train of thought there for a minute. So I'm just going to stamp that along the side, and then I'm going to put my sentiment on. So we're kind of doing things just a little bit backwards here. I'm just going to stamp it right there. Just like that. And then I have some Stampin' Blends markers that I'm just going to color that in real quick. So we're just gonna, this is Daffodil Delight, just put a little inside, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of this kind of in the middle. I'm going to do a little bit of just kind of coloring just a little. And I'm going to come back with this and do just a little bit more. Oops, kind of messed up that there. And then I also have just a little bit of Old Olive, so we're going to just kind of color in the leaf here. And add just a little bit in the middle here. Just a little bit of shading on there. There we go. And now I'm going to stamp my sentiment on here. And got to find the right one here. Oh. There we go. Had to find it. They're kind of small, so they kind of all look the same. So this says for all you do, because it's going to say thanks on the front. And I'm going to stamp this in Old Olive also. Just going to put it right here. There we go. And now I'm just going to glue this right to there. And got a new thing of glue, so it comes out really good. And I'm just going to layer that on there. And then this is going to go on the inside of our card, just like that. Oops, goodness, stuff is going everywhere. Okay, so now this is where you need your ribbon. So this is the ribbon I'm going to use. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the ribbon all the way around. So there's two ways you can do it. So you can wrap it all the way around and tie it in a bow. I've still got it attached to my thing here. Don't need it quite that long. So you want the bow kind of on the left-hand side. So you can wrap it, you can tie it in a bow just like this. But if you're not good at tying bows when you're wrapping stuff around, I'm going to show you a different way to do it too. So you can tie it like this, and just see if I can get this tied nicely here without it falling off. Hello. Oop. So I'm got my ribbon tangled here. So this is why sometimes I don't do it this way, because I get my ribbon, I'm not good at tying them. Because then my bows, I always feel like my bows are upside down. So you can tie it like that, or I'm going to show you the other way. The other way is, because our little sentiment piece is going to go in the middle, you can just attach it right here in the middle. I'm going to get a smaller piece here so it's not, so I don't have quite so much. There we go. Be a lot easier. Get that out of the way. So you just kind of lay it on there and kind of even. And then you just can put a little bit of adhesive, or if you want, you can even put a little bit of tear and tape, because no one's going to see it. Just kind of decide where you're going to want to put it. You can use tear and tape, and then you're just going to attach one end there. I'm going to pull it a little bit. There we go. And then just pull it over and attach the other end, and then just cut off our other little piece. And no one's going to see that, because this is going to go on top. So this is, I'm going to stamp a little sentiment on here. It's going to say thanks. Big thanks. And this is how I line up my stamps. Whoops, wrong size. I line it up on the grid paper to make sure that I have it straight. And then I can kind of see where I'm putting my block to get it straight. And this I'm going to stamp in the terracotta tile ink, which is the same color as the ribbon. It's just going to go right in the middle, right across the front. Here we go. And I'm also going to stamp this flower again that I stamped before, but what I'm going to do, because it's just going to be kind of like lightly in the background, move this out of the way, is I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off, so it's, because I don't want it dark, and then I'm just, let me make sure it's, yep, it's about what I want. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to put it right here. So you just kind of have a little bit of a background of that flower on there. And then these are going to be glued together. And then I'm going to use dimensionals. Let me scoot that around a little bit on the back. And we're going to put it on our card. Just peel these off. And this is just going to go right there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of bling to this, because, you know, it kind of looks a little plain. So I just have some basic rhinestones. You can color these, obviously. So I'm just going to take, let's see what it, I'm going to use this one, and just going to color them. These are the Stampin' Up markers. You can do this with alcohol markers. So just going to color 3 of these, and I'm just going to put them on my card. And as soon as I find my thing so I can pick them up. Okay. So, whoop. We're just going to kind of add them onto my card here. And I will put that one over there. There we go. So this is the first easy peasy card. This is a great way to use up cards, not cardstock, designer series paper. If you want, and this does fit into a regular size envelope. It is the same size as a regular card. And then you have this little insert where you can write your note on the inside. Okay, so that's card number 1. Now, if you want to make it a little fancier, I'm going to show you card number 2. So we're going to do the same thing as far as scoring and cutting. So for this card, that's the first one. So for the second card, you're going to need your 6x9 and the other piece of 6x9 1/4 that you had. You're going to need your 4x5 1/4, your 3 3/4 by 5, and then these are the new pieces you're going to need because we're adding to the other card. This is 3.5 by 9.5. We are going to do some scoring. You need 2 pieces of Whisper White that are 3 1/4 by 4.5, and then you're going to need 1 piece, same as that. This is 3 1/4 by 2.5. So these are the pieces that we're going to need to make the second card, and that's going to be the stepped up version of our card. So here we go. I'm going to move these out of the way. So we are going to be scoring both of these pieces. We're going to do this one first. So I have my paper score. So we're going to turn this the long way. And I got my thing upside down. For me, upside down. And we're going to score this in half. So this is 9.5 by 3.5. So we're going to score this at 4 3/4. And move my cutting blade out of the way. We're just scoring that in half. And then you can see it makes like a little flap. Okay, we can set that aside, and then we're going to score this the same way we did the other one. So you're going to want to turn it so this on the 9 1/4 by 6, so it's on the long side, and we're going to score this just like we did the other one at 2 3/4. And remember, don't press down too hard because this paper is not as thick as the cardstock. Then we're going to score this at 7. Move my little arm. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees, and we're going to score at 5/8. So that's a half plus 2 more if you're kind of measurement challenged. So this is 5/8. And we've scored that, and then we can put this away. Okay, and let's move that out of the way. And we're going to do the same that we did with the other one. We're going to fold this up, except for this one, I'm going to use the opposite side of the paper. We'll see how it comes out. I'll show you the other ones that I did earlier. And so this one is going to be the opposite of how we did the other one. We are going to cut it exactly the same though. So we're going on the bottom where it folds up, you're going to cut up right on the score line, and then you're going to cut off that tiny little flap, and you're going to cut it right above where you scored it. Just a teeny tiny bit above. Oops, my scissors are stuck there. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. I can't see my lines, I can see it better on this side, so I'm going to flip my paper over. Right on the line, and then right above the score line. Okay, and then we're going to take just a little pie piece out of the corner of this, and you want to do the same, about the same size on the other side, since you are going to see it. Okay, and so this one we're folding the other way, so we're going to fold it. Oops, I don't want to do that. This way. So we're going to put a little bit of tear and tape on the other side. You can tell one side's a little bit longer, so when you fold it over, you want to make sure that the shorter side is on top so that your seam is right in the middle. And then I'm going to just use some tear and tape on this. that down. Okay, for those that are watching, if you want to leave a comment and say hi, that'd be great. We're going to tear that off, and then we're just going to fold it over, and then I'm going to fold it up right here. You can see I kind of didn't do it quite even, so I'm just going to cut that little bit off. I'm going to need to do it from this side though. There we go. Makes my flat fold up easier. So we're just going to put a little bit of tear and tape on there. Just kind of give it a good rub. It makes it easier to peel it off. There we go. I'm just going to fold that up. And you can see we've made another little pocket again. And again, I'm going to take my 1-inch circle punch. You can use any size circle punch, or if you need to, just trace around a half circle with the pencil and cut it out with your paper snips. You kind of want it in the middle. There we go. Okay, so this is just like the other cards. So now we're going to do the inside part. And I'm not going to stamp on this, and you're going to see why in a little bit. So we're just going to attach this right on here. And then this is going to slide right in here. And now we're going to get out this piece and our 2 pieces of white, and also our other piece of flowered paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this, give this a nice crease. This piece is going to go on the front. This is going to go on top, just like that. So we're going to glue these two, actually these two together. Here's my glue. I'm just going to glue it right to the bottom of here. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp my thank you right above it, right there. And I am going to stamp that in this terracotta tile, just like I stamped before. So it's going to go right there. And then the other sentiment that I had that says "for all you do," I'm going to stamp right underneath. Let's see what I'm doing here. I'm going to get it in the middle. There you go. And then I'm going to put a piece of this ribbon around it. So for this one, I'm actually going to wrap it around the back. So I am going to put just a little bit of adhesive, wherever I put my adhesive, here it is. Just a little bit on each side. I need to flip it over and make sure I have it in the right spot. I want the ribbon to go over where those 2 pieces are meeting. So it's just like that, and then I'm going to wrap it around the other side, and it'll stick right on there. Cut off my ribbon. And now this piece is going to go on the front of here, just like this. Okay, so we're just going to glue that down. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to flip this up. This piece is going to go on the inside, just like that. This is where you're going to write your little greeting or your message. just like that. And then this whole piece is going to go on the front of here. And, oh, I almost forgot one more thing. So we're just going to flip this over, and I'm just going to put some glue on the back. So when you're making your little handhold, you don't want to have it too big. So this is going to go right in the middle, but you do want it below that little your little handhold part so that they can still grab the other insert piece. And then I'm also going to, oops, my ribbon. I'm also going to make a bow and put this on the front. So I'm just going to take my ribbon, make a little bow. Oop, my hand stuck there. And then we're going to put a surprise in the middle. I don't know what. Got glue on my hand that's making the ribbon stick to my finger. Let's try this one more time. There we go. All right, where's my end? There it is. Pull my ends. I just need to cut the tails off. There we go. And then this I'm just going to attach with the glue dot right here in the middle. Got glue on my ribbon. Put that off. And have my glue dots. In case you're wondering why I put a piece of ribbon on it so the whole thing doesn't unroll on me. And evidently I've used a whole bunch of these. There they are. Just tear that off. You just put the bow right on top of the glue dot, pull it off, kind of tuck it under just a little bit. It's just going to go right on the front. And it is spring now, so the best thing that you can do, and what I'm going to do is, I bought some seeds, flower seeds. So I'm going to attach this to the inside, and then it's going to go on the inside. So the best way to attach it is just with some glue dots. So I'm just going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. That way they can get it off, but it'll stick on there. Just going to put that right in there. And then this is going to slip right inside of here. And then you're going to write your little note in here. So it kind of makes like a little gift. And then when they pull this out, they say, ah, I got flowers. So you can buy, obviously you could buy some flowers that actually match your paper if you wanted. So it just kind of makes a cute little pouch to put some seeds in. So those are your two cards. So this is the one without, actually you could put seeds on this one too. I would just attach it to the back if you're doing that one. So this is the simple version. This is a little stepped up one if you want to stamp on that. So there you go. So if you don't have paper that turned inside out, because I also made a couple other ones, if you use the same paper, then it would kind of look a little bit more like that, where you would have the same paper here as you do on here if your papers don't coordinate. So, and obviously this one flips open just like the other, has a pocket inside. I did stamp on there. I didn't put seeds on that one yet, but I have some. So I actually bought some daisy ones to put on that one. So somewhere I have them. So you can use any kind of paper you want. There they are. So I actually bought some daisy ones to slip onto this one. So I'll attach that later. There's your cards. So this is the easy one in the middle, and you can also decorate. I got that on crooked. You can put some bling on the other part of your cards too. So there you go, little pocket card right here, or you can make it a pocket card with a gift inside. There's some flower seeds inside. You could also do this, put a little packet of tea. Would make a great little tea holder. almost a nice little tea bag inside. Just any kind of like flat, something flat that you can put inside, even like a flat candy bar would work. So there you go. And I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you'll try and make this with some of your paper. Like I said, this is great for this time of year because it is time to be planting flowers. If you need to give a thank you gift to someone, it's a great way to be able to thank them, and then they have something to remember you by later if their flowers grow and bloom. So I hope you have a great night, and tomorrow this will be on my blog. You can check it out at www.jumpingintostamping.com. And again, this is Pat's Card Corner. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So have a great evening, and I'll see you next week.